Base, they own the eyeballs. So in my opinion, Aerodrome, once they turn on that spigot, it's going to take off. Base, Solana, and Aerodrome. That's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome to Crypto for the Rest of Us, 6 days a week, tip tool coin analysis. And then later every day I do an ICP Hedera specific show. Big dumb animal, don't do what I do. That's the disclaimer. Now yesterday, which was September 3rd, got back from Labor Day weekend. Of course, I was watching the market and we all saw it go up and down. Generally speaking, yesterday's episode, we talked about the fact that September from the past isn't the best month. Don't be surprised. And I said, hey, I think things might continue to drop 20 or 30% even. Don't be surprised. And turns out the next day, or in the evening, they seem to drop quite a bit, which was a little faster into September than I thought, but they could continue to dive. This is total 3, generally speaking. It's still sort of in this trend line. That's a 200-day moving average, but like I showed yesterday, what I'm excited about is the M2, the global liquidity, continuing to rise. You can see it here at the bottom right, yellow, on an uptrend ever since last October, November. Okay, so I saw this article about Aerodrome. Aerodrome hits 113 million in year-to-date revenue, while Uniswap's is 45 million. That's not total value locked, that's revenue that they're generating. So I dove into, and I like this Coin98 Analytics. Oh, I thought I was following them. Oh, that's weird. Well, I am now. All right. And they happen to point out, this was interesting, talking about the Base network, a layer 1, versus something like a Solana, which is a very popular layer 1, and others. It said Base recently hit the all-time high of 1 million daily active addresses in August of 24. However, they pointed out that may be because of their Base name service that came out. Base name service, very similar to a DNS. It basically is a DNS, right? It's putting human readable words and letters that will point to an address. So Amazon.com points obviously to whatever that main IP is, just like you can have a name pointing to your wallet. Easier to have people send you stuff. So let's just assume that, that's the case. It's still a great thing to see that there's so many daily active addresses, but let's just assume that that's just a blip and it doesn't really mean anything. But if you look at total transactions on popular blockchain platforms in August, they say, beyond Solana, let's uncover the blockchains that dominated transaction activity in 2024. We got OpenBNB, Aptos, Sui, Tron, Near, Base. This surprises me that Base is as far up as it is, ahead of BNB Chain, Polygon, Arbitrum, Avalanche, Ethereum. That's interesting. Well, not really. They're expensive. So that's a huge number, 122 million. It's like half, literally, of the highest competitor. But if you look into the Coin98 Analytics account, which I think is great, they've got quite a bit of information here. They've got total transactions, what we just looked at. Then they have stats on total unique addresses. If you've ever been involved in an internet-based company, you know that unique is incredibly important. Do you have a bunch of doo-doo accounts? Are they a bunch of bots? Or do you actually have unique users versus a couple people coming back all the time? Total unique addresses, BNB Chain, 463 million at the beginning of August, 468 million at the end. Okay, it's 5 million jump. Polygon, 452 to 458, roughly speaking, 6 million jump. Ethereum, you come down here, Base isn't that far down. They're at 97 million, and then they jump to 113 million unique addresses. Okay, so that's a fourth or a fifth of the two top highest, BNB Chain and Polygon. Now it says it's a 16% growth versus a 1%. You think, well, that's great, but obviously percentages, you're going to get a higher percentage when you have such a lower amount. So this is still they had a 6 million unique address jump. BNB Chain had a 5 million unique address jump. So they increased people-wise the same number. I think that's significant. Then they talk about the highest DEX transactions, and you can see here, let's dive in. Solana 435 million in the last 30 days. Base was number 2 at 41 million. It's only 1/10, but that's a huge difference. All right, now that's great. Let's talk about investing, right? So Base being a layer 1, can't invest in it. Solana, you can. Let's take a look at Base on DeFi Llama, and then we're going to compare the charts and the investment opportunity here. Number 1 on Base is Aerodrome. Okay, Base is at 1.4 total value locked. When we look at Solana, it's 4.6 billion. So back in 2023, it's around 300 million, and now it's 4 billion. So that's a 10, 12x, something like that. Base being so much newer, it only goes back to really July or August of last year. Can't really compare it. 61 million, 1.4 billion. Even if it was 100 million when it started back here, that's a 14x. About the same trajectory, if not more. But most importantly, what can we invest in? Aerodrome, Aerodrome is the number 1. Uniswap's number 2. Aerodrome 500 million locked. Uniswap 177. Okay, so we look at Aerodrome since 2024. It's had a great trajectory. Starting around 100 million, 500 million. All right, so let's look at their charts. If we wanted to compare, Aerodrome is around 54 cents. If you know, it came out last February, March. Of course, it shot up, but it was around what? 10 cents? And now it's sitting at 50 cents. It's about a 5x. Check this out. Solana, same time frame, around 20 bucks. And now around 133, 5 or 6x. Okay, so since, this is October 23, but let's say since the lows, it's about a 6x Solana, and Aerodrome is about a 5x to where it sits now. All right, fine. Back in March, April, Aerodrome was around, let's say, $2. Okay, so that's from here to last March or April, 4x. Got to do math really fast. Solana, from here, 130 to where it was March and April, 200. Oh, that's like a 1.2x. Okay. I own both. I always have to say that at the time I'm recording. I do own both, but I got Solana way back when. So in my opinion, and even last run-up, which we don't have this for Aerodrome because it wasn't around, but even last run-up, would it peak? It close to 300, more like 240, 260, 280. So you're looking at only a 2x even to get to last time's peak. So 1.2x, you're back to March and April. 2x, you're back to the last run-up. Whereas something like Aerodrome, why I keep clicking the wrong window, just back to the last run-up, you're at a 4x return. Up to you. I have invested in both, but that's only because I got Solana quite a while ago. Not buying it. I have bought some at this price. That was actually a month or so ago. When was it? But in my opinion, I think Aerodrome, because it's on the Base network, and what I always talk about is the fact that Coinbase just has to sort of turn that spigot on and point everyone to their Base network. They own the eyeballs, right? Why do so many people sell products on Amazon? Amazon's return policy stinks. They're going to send crap back. They charge you all kinds of ridiculous fees. It's a pain to deal with Amazon. However, they own the eyeballs, right? So if they own the eyeballs and you're only paying per transaction, instead of having to advertise and hope you get a transaction, you kind of have to go there in some respects. Base, they own the eyeballs. So in my opinion, Aerodrome, once they turn on that spigot, it's going to take off. And they didn't do that just to get a 4 or 5x. So I'm putting more money over time into Aerodrome, not into Solana. I'm assuming it's going to be riskier, but I'm assuming also it's going to have a higher payoff. The trajectory of what it's doing based on the statistics is great. And the fact that Coinbase has so many eyeballs tells me, in my opinion, that Aerodrome has a real chance of taking off. That's it for today. Have a great day. Hope we can all make generational wealth together in crypto. Please do comment. And I always appreciate it, obviously, if you subscribe, watch these daily episodes. Have a great day. Thanks.